In this week's video, we're going to be casting clear resin. We're going to be taking a unrestored, broken in half, a license plate lens for a 37 Lincoln Zephyr, and we're going to make the molds for it. And then we're going to cast bubble-free clear lenses. Here at Knob Soup, we recast vintage steering wheels, restore, mold, and cast dashboard knobs, escutcheons, and rubber items for antique, vintage, and classic cars. What I have in front of me on my table is a 1936-37 license plate lens. It goes on the housing on a 37 taillight, which are very difficult to find, by the way. And this one was sent to me by a customer, hoping that I can duplicate it. It has been epoxied together, so it's real rough. I'm going to try and take the epoxy off, glue it back together, clean it up, and then this one side has been chipped all together off, so I've got to rebuild that. I scraped off the old epoxy, and then I had to break it apart because the first time it was glued, well, it wasn't the best. So I had to clean it and re-glue it, and now I'm ready to put the spot putty on the top and the back. Using some spot putty, I covered the major cracks and sanded it down. Well, here's the lens that I hit with the first coating of primer filler. As I mentioned earlier, one side is broken off, and the other side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some easy mold, which is an instant way of making molds. I'm going to make a duplicate of this side so I can use it on this side, and then use some kind of putty and fill it into a mold. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is mix up a batch of the easy mold, which is a 1-to-1. Mix it up right now. I'm going to use the same amount. And I'm going to make a mold on that one side. Let it cure up. Okay, I want to duplicate this side here. So I'm just going to let that cure. All right, here's the mold I made. Let's take it apart very gingerly. We're going to trim this down and put it on this side over here. Fill it full of goop. Put this clamp on, and on the mold, I trimmed down the mold. I filled it full of JB Weld, and we're going to now take it off and see how it came out. As you can see, I can sand that down and sand down the edge, and now I have an edge similar to this over on this side. I just need to clean it up. Shoot this with another coat of primer filler, sand it, keep detailing it, and I think we're going to be okay. Well, here's the lens after I sprayed it with a couple of coats of primer filler. As you can see, the ends are looking really crisp and nice. In fact, I can't remember which one I repaired. To get the frosted glass on the inside of the lens, I took some 400 sandpaper and just scrubbed it, and that'll give me a frosted glass. I'll sand it down now with 1500, 2000, and then 3000. And I'll put a little polish on this to make it nice and super slick and smooth. I'm going to now make the mother mold for it. I made a mold box out of acrylic, and I'm going to place the lens with that smooth side down, and I'm measuring it to make sure there's a 1/2 inch on all sides before I put in the clay. So I'll lay in the clay, making sure that the clay is sulfur-free, because if it's not, the silicone will not stick to it, and it will not cure. So now I'm going to lay in the clay, pushing it up into the corners and smoothing it out, And then I'll be putting in some keys. The keys help register the top mold to the bottom mold on this clamshell mold. The next thing I want to do is put the pour spout on. I'm going to put the pour spout on. Put some super glue right there. Let's see if I can't glue my fingers. Okay, we're about ready to mix up some Mold Max 30. I'm guesstimating this is going to be at 230 grams, and I've come up with that because I have an old mold that's about the same size, and it's 230, so we're going to start at 230. So I'm going to mix this up, vacuum it, because we don't want any air bubbles in this. Now we're going to pour it in the high spot here. Let it seek its own level. It is now 12 hours later, and as you can see, it's nice and hard. And so we're going to take it apart here and see what we have. All right, now we just have to pull all this clay off. Now that the mold has been cleaned up, I'm going to coat with Vaseline and a little bit of paint thinner, a coating around here so that the top mold, the one that I will be pouring, does not stick to this mold. Vaseline keeps the two from bonding to each other, and therefore it will separate easily. Now it's time to button this up using my number 64 rubber bands. I'm going to mix up a batch of Mold Max 29 for the top. I've done it on other molds, such as this one here. The Mold Max 29 is the yellow, the 30 is the pink. It's great. What I like about it, it only takes 5 hours, even less if you put it under heat to cure, as opposed to 12 hours on the pink. It picks up the detail, and as long as you don't have any undercuts, like this one I did, but the 29 does not have the stretchability that the 30 does, so it has a tendency to break apart. Like this was a gear shift knob. It didn't last very long because its elasticity is very weak. But for something like this that doesn't have to be pulled out, comes straight out, it's perfect. So we're going to mix up some 29, and it mixes up the same way this Mold Max 30 does. In other words, it mixes up and then you add 10% of the B side. And I'm going to put a piece of tape along this inside edge, and that'll give me a guide to tell me how high I have to bring the Mold Max up in order to make sure that it covers. I'm starting at a low point. Okay, 5 hours has gone by. This is nice and hard now. I'm going to take it apart now and see how it turned out. So now I can take the original off. There. Looking at this, I'm a little bit concerned that my pour hole isn't deep enough. So I'm going to extend it a little bit with some moldies. We talked about it actually earlier we did. going to make an extension. One of the things that I need to do is label this. There it comes. There we go. The resin that I will be using is the Crystal Clear Series 202 from Smooth On. A side takes 100% and B side takes 90%. I'll be mixing them up, vacuuming them to make sure that all the bubbles rise to the surface, and then once they're inside the mold, they'll go inside my pressure pot for 55 pounds pressure to ensure that any champagne bubbles will have disappeared. I made these wooden pallets that can go on top of it. I'm holding that up, rocking it all around to make sure. Now into my pressure pot. Looks pretty good. Everything is filled in. Quite pleased. It looks very nice. There's the pour spout, and as you can see, the pour spout was all the way up here, and it pulled it down to here. So that meant that if I didn't put on that extra little chimney, it may have pulled into the molding itself. The final polishing is done. As you can see, it's nice, glossy, and the back side is frosted just like an original. The edges are nice and clean. All done. And until next time, thank you for watching.